An AC voltage in volts is given by the equation V is equal to 200 sine 120 pi t minus pi by 2. At what times is the voltage equal to 0? If the voltage is equal to 0, that implies that 200 sine 120 pi t minus pi by 2 is equal to 0. If we divide both sides of this equation by 200, we would find sine of 120 pi t minus pi by 2 is equal to 0. We need to look for points on the trigonometric circle where sine is equal to 0. If this is a trigonometric circle, and this is the cosine axis and this is the sine axis, then sine equal to 0 would correspond to, this is the sine axis, this is plus 1, this is minus 1, 0 would be here on the sine axis. So these 2 points correspond to sine equal to 0. Now each one of these points is represented by many angles. Let's say point A is represented by 0 plus or minus 2 pi plus or minus 4 pi plus or minus 6 pi and so on. And point A prime corresponds to plus or minus pi plus or minus 3 pi plus or minus 5 pi, etc. So we can see that altogether, both A and A prime together, they correspond to all multiples, all integer multiples of pi. So in fact, altogether, all of the angles starting, let's say, minus 10 pi, minus 9 pi, coming down to minus 5 pi, minus 4 pi, minus 3 pi, minus 2 pi, minus pi, 0 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, have their sign equal to 0. In other words, if I require that 120 pi t minus pi by 2 is equal to any of these angles, then sine for this quantity will be 0. So I'm going to equal this to all possible multiples of pi, k pi, where k could be 0, plus and minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, and so on, all integers. So k could be any integer. Now for any k, I have one solution for this equation. I can find 1t. Let's leave the k as it is in the equation and solve the equation for t. If I take minus pi by 2 to the other side of the equation, I would have 120 pi t is equal to k pi plus pi by 2, which I can write as k plus 1/2 times pi. Now I can divide both sides of the equation by a pi and then by a 120, and I would get t is equal to 1 by 120 k plus 1/2 seconds, if in the original question time was given in seconds, which is usually the case. And for any value of k which belongs to the integers, this expression gives us one of the solutions for the equation.